Welcome to an in-depth overview and explanation of the life and theories of Julia Kristeva. This video will proceed as follows. First, we'll have an in-depth introduction and overview to the content of the video. Next, we'll look at Julia Kristeva's early life and education. After that, we'll turn to the meat of the video, examining Kristeva's key theoretical contributions. In this section, we'll examine specifically her contributions to semiotics and symbolic language, psychoanalysis and feminism, intertextuality, and finally, her later philosophical work, specifically her concept of the abject. Finally, we'll have a look at her influence and enduring legacy. Let's turn now to our introduction. Julia Kristeva, a towering figure in the realms of psychoanalysis, philosophy, and literary theory, stands as a testament to the profound impact an intellectual can have across multiple disciplines. Born in 1941 in Bulgaria, Kristeva's journey from the East to the intellectual circles of Paris in the 1960s marked the beginning of a remarkable career that would see her challenge and reshape the boundaries of critical thought. Her work, deeply interdisciplinary, traverses the complexities of language, identity, and culture, offering insights that have become foundational in contemporary debates and studies. In the sphere of psychoanalysis, Kristeva's contributions are both revolutionary and deeply rooted in the traditions of Freud and Lacan, yet she diverges significantly in her approach, specifically in her reinterpretation of Freudian theories. Kristeva's exploration of the pre-Oedipal phase and her emphasis on the maternal body as a critical component in the formation of the human psyche introduced a new dimension to psychoanalytical thought. Her notion of the semiotic, a realm associated with the maternal and the pre-linguistic, contrasts with the symbolic order and provides a unique lens through which to view the development of language and identity. Kristeva's impact on feminist theory is equally significant. While not identifying strictly as a feminist, her work on the feminine, maternity, and the body has offered vital insights for feminist theorists. Her analysis of the maternal role and her exploration of the feminine within language and psychoanalytic frameworks have both challenged and enriched feminist discourses, making her a pivotal, if sometimes controversial, figure in feminist studies. Moreover, Kristeva's contributions to literary theory and semiotics are groundbreaking. Her concept of intertextuality, a term she popularized, has become a cornerstone in modern literary criticism. This concept, which posits that texts are not isolated creations but are interwoven with countless other texts, has transformed the way that literature is analyzed and understood. Her work in this area goes beyond traditional boundaries, blending psychoanalysis, linguistics, and literature into a cohesive analytical framework. In her later work, Kristeva engaged in philosophical explorations of the human condition, most notably through her concept of the abject. This idea, which refers to what is cast out or marginalized by the self and society, has become crucial in cultural studies, social theory, and even political discourse. It speaks to the human experience of boundaries, both personal boundaries and societal ones, and has opened new avenues for understanding identity, power, and social dynamics. Despite the breadth and depth of her work, Kristeva's ideas have not been without criticism. Some have taken issue with her complex prose and the dense interweaving of psychoanalysis, linguistics, and philosophy in her work. Others have criticized her from a feminist standpoint, arguing that her theories do not sufficiently address the realities of women's experiences or social inequalities. Nonetheless, the significance and influence of her work are undeniable, and her theories continue to provoke thought and debate in various fields. Early life and education. Kristeva's early life and education in Bulgaria laid the foundational stones of her intellectual odyssey, an odyssey that would see her emerge as one of the most influential thinkers of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Born in 1941 in Slaven, Bulgaria, during a time of political upheaval and the rise of Soviet influence, Kristeva's formative years were steeped in an environment marked by both cultural richness and political constraint. This backdrop played a crucial role in shaping her intellectual pursuits and her later theoretical developments. In Bulgaria, Kristeva's education was deeply influenced by the country's mix of Slavic cultural heritage and the ideological rigidity of the Soviet era. She attended the University of Sofia, where she studied linguistics. This period was critical in shaping her understanding of language as not just a system of communication, but as a window into the human psyche and societal structures. Her early exposure to Russian formalism and to French structuralism, especially to the works of Ferdinand de Saussure, laid the groundwork for her later forays into semiotics and psychoanalysis. Kristeva's move to France in the 1960s marked a pivotal turning point in her life and career. She arrived in Paris on a scholarship to the prestigious École Normale Supérieure, an epicenter of intellectual thought and debate. This move was not just a geographical shift, but a leap into a vibrant and radically different intellectual milieu. In Paris, Kristeva became part of the Tel Quel group, a circle of intellectuals and philosophers who were at the forefront of post-structuralist thought. It was here that she encountered the works and minds that would greatly influence her own theoretical approaches, figures like Roland Barthes, Jacques Derrida, and most notably Jacques Lacan, whose psychoanalytic theories would deeply inform her own work. Kristeva's integration into the French intellectual scene was both rapid and profound. Her unique perspective, one that blended Eastern European insights with Western theoretical frameworks, made her a standout figure. Her early work began to reflect a synthesis of these varied influences, marrying linguistic theory with psychoanalytic thought, and later with cultural and feminist theory. The cross-pollination of ideas between Kristeva and her contemporaries in France was not just a feature of her academic development, but a testament to the dynamic and transformative nature of intellectual exchange. Key theoretical contributions: Semiotics and symbolic language. Kristeva's exploration and expansion of the field of semiotics form a central pillar in her extensive body of work. Semiotics, the study of signs and symbols as elements of communicative behavior, is not a concept that she invented, but one to which she brought a fresh and profoundly influential perspective. Kristeva's foray into semiotics went beyond the conventional understanding of the field, which was largely influenced by the work of Ferdinand de Saussure and his focus on signs and structures in language. Kristeva, drawing from her diverse academic background and intellectual influences, infused semiotics with insights from psychoanalysis, thereby opening new dimensions in the study of language and meaning. Kristeva's unique contribution to semiotics lies in the way she interwove it with psychoanalytic theory, particularly with the work of Jacques Lacan. Kristeva saw in semiotics not just a tool for understanding language in a structural sense, but as a means to explore the human psyche, to explore the formation of identity and of the unconscious. For Kristeva, language is not merely a system of communication, but is instead a complex interplay of processes that shape the human experience. This perspective represented a significant shift from traditional semiotics, which tended to view language more as a closed system of signs. One of Kristeva's most significant contributions in the field of semiotics is her distinction between the symbolic and the semiotic aspects of language. The symbolic, drawing from Lacanian psychoanalysis, represents the structured, ordered aspect of language and its role in societal and communicative structures. It's the realm of syntax, grammar, and the social conventions of language. The symbolic is essential for communication and for meaning-making within the constructs of society. Kristeva's innovation, however, lies in her introduction and emphasis on the semiotic dimension of language. The semiotic, according to Kristeva, is the pre-linguistic aspect of language. It's associated with bodily drives and rhythms, a connection to the maternal and to the hora. This is spelled C-H-O-R-A, pronounced hora. It's a term that she uses to describe the receptacle of the drives before they're expressed through the symbolic. The semiotic is fluid, dynamic, and precedes the structured symbolic realm. It represents the emotional and instinctual aspects of our language expression, aspects that are often repressed or overlooked in traditional linguistic studies. Kristeva's exploration of the semiotic was groundbreaking in that it opened up a space to understand the more nuanced, often non-verbal and pre-verbal aspects of human communication and expression. It allowed for an examination of how our earliest experiences, specifically those tied to the maternal body and the pre-Oedipal phase, influence how we later express ourselves in the structured world of the symbolic. This intersection of linguistics and psychoanalysis not only expanded the field of semiotics, but also provided new insights into the study of literature, art, and cultural theory. Psychoanalysis and feminism. Kristeva's engagement with psychoanalysis, most notably her reinterpretation of Freudian theories, marks a significant chapter in her intellectual journey, intertwining profoundly with her perspectives on feminism. Kristeva's approach to psychoanalysis was not one of mere acceptance or rejection of Freud's ideas, but instead a nuanced critical engagement with them. Her reinterpretation of Freudian concepts was both an homage to and a departure from traditional psychoanalytic thought, exemplifying her ability to traverse and transcend theoretical boundaries. In her reinterpretation of Freud, Kristeva focused on re-examining key aspects of his theories, especially those relating to the unconscious, sexuality, and the development of the self. One of her most significant critiques involves Freud's Oedipus complex. Kristeva argued that Freud's emphasis on the paternal law and the phallocentric order in the formation of the psyche overlooked the crucial role of the mother and of the pre-Oedipal phase. She posited that before the child enters the symbolic order, that is, the realm of language and social structures, there is a semiotic phase where the child is closely connected to the maternal body. This connection, infused with prelinguistic drives and affects, forms a critical part of an individual's development. Kristeva's reinterpretation also extended into the realm of femininity and the maternal body, areas that she believed were inadequately addressed in traditional psychoanalytic theory. She challenged the patriarchal biases inherent in Freudian psychoanalysis, specifically the portrayal of women primarily in relation to men and the phallocentric structure of society. Kristeva proposed a more nuanced understanding of femininity, one that recognizes the strength and complexity of the maternal role and its influence on the psyche. Her views on the maternal body and its role in the psychic and social life are groundbreaking. For Kristeva, the maternal body is not just a biological entity, but is a powerful symbolic and semiotic force. It represents the first universe the child experiences, a space of nurturing and also of the abject, a concept Kristeva developed to describe what is both repulsive and fascinating. The maternal body, in her framework, is a source of creativity, connection, and rupture, playing a pivotal role in the formation of the individual. Kristeva's perspectives had profound implications for feminist theory. While she did not align herself strictly with any feminist movement, her work offered crucial insights into the understanding of gender, sexuality, and power. She provided a language to articulate the complexities of the female experience beyond the patriarchal narratives that had dominated both psychoanalytic and social discourses. Her emphasis on the semiotic, tied to the maternal, offered a way to appreciate feminine language and expression as powerful and transformative. Intertextuality. Intertextuality, a concept popularized by Kristeva, stands as a pivotal contribution to the field of literary criticism and theory, fundamentally altering the way texts are analyzed and understood. The term intertextuality refers to the idea that every text is essentially a mosaic of quotations, and no text is an island unto itself. Every piece of writing, Kristeva argued, is interwoven with countless other texts, whether through direct quotation, allusion, or the more subtle forms of influence that permeate the fabric of literature. Kristeva's concept of intertextuality emerged from her engagement with the works of Mikhail Bakhtin, a Russian philosopher and literary critic. Bakhtin's ideas about the dialogic nature of language and literature influenced Kristeva's thinking, leading her to the conclusion that all literary creation is inherently intertextual. According to Kristeva, a text does not simply exist in a vacuum, but is, instead, a node in a complex network of texts, each node influencing and being influenced by others. This perspective challenges the traditional notion of authorship and originality, positing that writers are always, in a sense, in conversation with other writers, past and present. The implications of the concept of intertextuality for literary criticism are profound. Intertextuality suggests that to fully understand a text, one must look beyond its boundaries to the network of texts in which it is embedded and to which it is connected. This approach opens up a vast array of interpretive possibilities, allowing for a more nuanced and layered understanding of literature. It encourages readers and critics to explore the relationships between texts to uncover the often hidden dialogues that exist within and across works of literature. In practical terms, the application of intertextuality to literary criticism has led to new ways of reading and interpreting texts. Critics are prompted to look for connections, influences, and dialogues between different works, thereby enriching their analyses. This has been particularly influential in the study of postmodern literature, where the blending and juxtaposition of different texts and styles is more pronounced. Intertextuality has also been important in the study of genres, as it allows for an exploration of how different literary forms and conventions interact and evolve over time. Moreover, Kristeva's concept has extended beyond the realm of literature into broader cultural and media studies. In our contemporary media-saturated world, the principles of intertextuality are increasingly relevant as various forms of media continually reference and interact with each other. This interplay shapes not only our cultural products, but also our perception and understanding of the world. Later philosophical work. Kristeva's later philosophical work, most notably her exploration of the concept of the abject and its impact on modern philosophical thought, stands as a testament to her enduring influence and innovative thinking. This phase of her career marked a deepening and expansion of her earlier ideas as she ventured into territories that combined psychoanalysis, linguistics, and cultural theory, thus offering new ways to understand contemporary societal and cultural issues. The concept of the abject is central to Kristeva's later work and is most famously explicated in her book Powers of Horror. Here, the abject refers to that which is cast out, expelled from the body, the self, or the social order, yet which is intimately tied to them. The abject is what disturbs identity, order, and system. It's what does not respect borders, positions, or rules. It encompasses phenomena like bodily fluids, decay, and corpses, which are physically and symbolically expelled from the clean and orderly self and society. The abject confronts us with the fragility of our constructed identities and societal norms, and with the porous boundaries between the self and the other. Kristeva's exploration of the abject has profound implications for contemporary cultural and social analysis. It provides a framework for understanding how societies and individuals deal with what is seen as taboo, dangerous, or unclean. Her concept has been influential in fields such as feminist theory, cultural studies, and art criticism, where it's been used to explore themes of identity, gender, and the body. For instance, in feminist theory, the abject can be used to examine how women's bodies are often the site of abjection, with aspects like menstruation and childbirth being socially stigmatized. Furthermore, Kristeva's work on the abject challenges the perceived stability and purity of identity and culture. By highlighting how the abject is an integral part of our identity and society, she disrupts the comfortable boundaries of self and other, inside and outside, and culture and nature. This disruption forces a re-evaluation of how we construct our identities and cultures and how we deal with that which we find disturbing or threatening. In terms of her broader contributions to modern philosophy, Kristeva's work is marked by its interdisciplinary nature, drawing on psychoanalysis, literature, and linguistics to inform her philosophical inquiries. Her approach challenges traditional philosophical boundaries and encourages a more fluid, dynamic understanding of complex concepts such as identity, power, and social structures. Kristeva's influence can be seen in the way contemporary philosophy often intersects with other disciplines and in the increasing attention given to issues of identity, the body, and the symbolic and semiotic aspects of culture. Influence and legacy. Kristeva's influence and legacy in the realms of psychoanalysis, literature, and feminist theory cannot be overstated. Her work, characterized by its depth and interdisciplinary nature, has left a lasting impact on these fields, challenging traditional theories and introducing new ways of thinking. Moreover, her ideas continue to resonate in contemporary debates, attesting to the enduring relevance of her contributions. However, her work has not been without its critiques and controversies, aspects that are integral to understanding her impact. In psychoanalysis, Kristeva's reinterpretation of Freudian theories, specifically her emphasis on the pre-Oedipal stage and the role of the mother, brought a fresh perspective to the field. Her introduction of the semiotic as a counterpoint to the symbolic order challenged the phallocentric biases in psychoanalytic thought and opened up new avenues for exploring the formation of the human psyche. Kristeva's work significantly influenced how psychoanalysts understand language, identity, and the unconscious, integrating insights from linguistics and cultural theory. In the realm of literature, Kristeva's concept of intertextuality revolutionized literary criticism. Her assertion that texts are not isolated creations but are interwoven with countless other texts broadened the scope of literary analysis. This idea encouraged critics to explore the relationships between texts, considering the historical, cultural, and social contexts that influence writing. Kristeva's theories have become fundamental in the study of literature, influencing how we read, interpret, and understand literary works. Feminist theory has also been profoundly impacted by Kristeva's work. Although she has sometimes been at odds with feminist movements, her analyses of femininity, the maternal body, and language have provided vital insights. Her exploration of the semiotic, tied to the maternal, offered a new way to appreciate feminine language and expression, empowering women's voices and experiences in literature and society. The relevance of Kristeva's theories in contemporary debates is evident. Her ideas on identity, power, language, and the abject continue to influence discussions in various fields, including cultural studies, gender studies, and social theory. Her work offers a lens through which to examine current issues such as identity politics, social exclusion, and the dynamics of power in language and culture. Despite the acclaim, Kristeva's work has not been immune to criticism. Some scholars have found her writings challenging due to their dense, complex style. Others have critiqued her theories from a feminist standpoint, arguing that they do not sufficiently address the realities of women's experiences or of social inequalities. Additionally, Kristeva has been involved in controversies such as the debate over her political affiliations during her early years in Bulgaria, which have sparked discussions about her personal history and its influence on her work. Kristeva's influence and legacy extend across multiple disciplines, offering groundbreaking insights and provoking significant debates. Her work has reshaped psychoanalysis, literary criticism, and feminist theory, and continues to be relevant in addressing contemporary issues. While her theories have sparked controversies and critiques, these debates are a testament to the profound impact and enduring significance of her intellectual contributions. Thanks for watching this video on Julia Kristeva's life and work. I'm Andrew Chapman.